Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. With a spot in the Super Bowl on the line, everything is on the line in today's conference championship matchup. It's the Chargers going up against the Patriots. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the San Diego Chargers and the New England Patriots. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here come the Patriots now on offense. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. As the offensive starters pop up on your screen, Charles, let me ask you, Chris Hogan, what does he bring to this offense?
A guy that you look at and really don't circle in your game plan. There's other guys that you look at, then you realize this guy can do damage. Finds his way open on almost every snap.
On 2nd down, here's Brady. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The former Bill, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And we'll take a look quickly at the San Diego defense.
I've always loved Brandon Mebane. From the time I watched him play in college through many, many productive years in the NFL, one of the best defensive tackles in the game.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
I'm actually old enough to remember him hitting the league, and so many people are talking about his throwing motion at the time. A little bit unorthodox. No one talks about it anymore except in admiration. The ball gets to the target really well and usually with big production.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
Second down following the run. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he gets it to the former Patriot, Brandon LaFell. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on second down. From the gun, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Well, they have the yards anyway, so they're going to decline the penalty. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rivers. And it's incomplete. It's a dangerous pass. That's what it was. And it brings up second down. A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
Eric Rowe fits the profile of the so-called new breed of cornerback in the NFL. A college safety with length, he transitions very well to the corner in the league.
So 2nd and 10 here. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Going underneath for Gordon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. But anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. And a tackle there by Chris Long.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Rivers now on 2nd down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Rob Ninkovich in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So we played a quarter here in the AFC Championship game. 3-0 is our score, and we'll return to Foxborough after this.
This presentation of the NFL on...
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. Rivers to throw it. Finds his target. It's Gates. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Antonio Gates, 26 yards. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers defense gearing up to take the field. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either. And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Brady now on 1st down. Slant route caught by Edelman. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Returning, it's Benjamin. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a pickup of 19, and the Chargers are going to have a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Travis Benjamin, 47 yards. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Blunt, the lone running back. Brady will try again on second down. On the slant, he gets it to Gronkowski. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Brady. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From midfield, here's Brady. Finding time. Going deep here for Edelman. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman, 49 yards. And the Patriots are back within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Rivers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Rivers now on second down. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask, 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Blunt, the lone running back. Now Brady. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
He was looking for Julian Edelman that time, and it'll bring up third down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's third and goal. From the gun, it's Brady. Surveying the field. Touchdown, Patriots.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. If you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Final play of the half, Rivers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we come upon halftime in the AFC title game as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Patriots are leading in time of possession, but no, that alone won't get them to the Super Bowl. The Chargers haven't played their best, but they still have to like their chances moving forward. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. Chargers take it early in the second. Gates is wide open here on the catch, and he's going to go 27 yards for the score. They're now on top by 4. Chargers here, they have it at the 47. Benjamin's got nobody around him on the catch, and he's gone as he sprints to the end zone. The Chargers push their lead to 11. Now 1st and 10, the pass will be completed along the sideline, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown, closing the gap to 4. Now to late in the first half, the pass ends up being picked off. Long's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Offense now with the shot after the pick. Brady's going to dart up the middle, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. They go ahead by 3.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now the return comes from Dexter McCluster. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chris Long in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. He took a hit on that last play. Now let's see how he and the offense respond on second.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
10 yards still left on second down. From the gun, Rivers. This will be caught inside the 10. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will tie things at 17 all. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Charger defense now making their way back out onto the field. They have to recover a little bit. Last time they couldn't stop the run. They really couldn't stop the pass either.
And it wasn't just physically. It's mentally, because the offense appears to be a step ahead of them. No matter what they call, it's working. So they've got to get something figured out. And usually you need a big play to get things turned around.
They gave up the touchdown on that balance attack last drive. Now this drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Brady now to throw. Wide open, Gronkowski. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. Blunt, the lone running back. And he'll get it up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Back now in Foxborough. All even as we get ready to start the fourth.
I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Shotgun now for Brady. Goes underneath here to White. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. The Patriots send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Fresh set of downs here. Rivers on first down. Right side catch. This is Gates. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
They come out here in the eye. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Dante Hightower on the stop. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Here's Rivers. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It's a pickup of 14 there. And it'll give the Chargers a first down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, But I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with. There's not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear into diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart, started adding to it, and here we are today.
Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. So it's Charlie as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. One man in the backfield is Gordon, and he'll get it up the middle. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Melvin Gordon, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are going to take the lead.
And there's the go-ahead touchdown. And so likely we'll kick an extra point. But to me, I'm looking forward. Special teams now with your kickoff, and then your defense, that's where the pressure shifts.
Yeah, because there's plenty of time left on that clock. Anytime you're over a minute in the NFL, there's a chance. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. Now Jones. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Back to throw. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll look to throw. He's got time. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Back to throw. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He's back to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd down now after the incompletion.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Defense.
So you heard the word. This is a neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defender wanted to try and get back after he had jumped, unable to do so.
We got three, fellas, we got three. 57, Mike.
Back to throw, Brady. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now Brady. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. The 13 yards that time and a first. And they're going to speed things up here. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
To throw is Brady. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Dwight Lowry. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And now San Diego getting set to go. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other
right?
sports.
Hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if you...
Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 2nd down, 8. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And they'll indeed take a knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.